Hello guys and welcome back to Planet 40k. So we're going to be doing something a little bit different in this video. I've got a bit of an in-house two-person tournament going off with Demon Prince Powie. So I'll sort of explain what I'm going to be doing with that tournament. It was going to be off camera, but I thought, you know what, why not just film it as battle reports and share it with you guys. So we're going to be doing 4 factions each. They're the same factions. We've got Chaos Demons, Necrons, Tyranids and Space Marines. So that's 4 each. And there's going to be no mirror matches. So if you work that out, that would be a total of 12 matches if every faction plays one another, minus the mirror matches. And it's 1,000 points, just 1,000 points. Because of time, we're going to try and get as many games in as possible. And as I said, we're going to try and put it on the channel, and as well as Demon Prince Powie's channel, or Demon Prince Gaming I should say, because that's his actual channel name. So for today's video, I'm going to be going through the first list build that I've got, and it's a Necrons one, so it's actually going to be Necrons versus Space Marines, 1,000 points. Now we are going to be changing the list game to game, because otherwise it would be a little bit boring having the same lists. Now I know a few of you may be like, well, you're tailoring to Space Marines, you're tailoring to, demons. Yeah, we are in a way. But we don't know what each other's bringing. I don't know what Space Marines is bringing. I don't know what chapter he's playing, what detachment he's playing. Is he going to be bringing tanks? Is he going to be bringing infantry? I don't know that kind of stuff. So, you've got to kind of guess, and you can only tailor so much. And in fact, you'll kind of see from my list that I'm just doing my own thing. I'm also going to be trying to be different in every Necrons, maybe Tyranid as well. Whatever one I play, whatever faction I play, I'm going to try and be completely different with the list, like different detachments completely. So for the very first game, Necrons vs Space Marines, I've gone with the Obeisance Phalanx, which is a detachment that I don't usually play that often. So I'm giving that a go, another attempt at it. So let's get into what we're going to be doing with the Obeisance Phalanx. So if you weren't aware, they've got worthy throws. So in your command phase, you select enemy unit, and until the start of your next command phase, Overlord, Lich Guard and Trite units get a +1 to wound against a selected unit for that battle round, or command phase to command phase rather. So of course units share keywords, so if you've got an Overlord with some Immortals potentially, then they'll all have the Overlord keyword and things like that. So let's kick this off then. This one's a bit weird, because there's no Overlords with Translocation Shrouds in this list. I've only actually got one model at the moment, so that's partly the reason why I am slightly limited and restricted to what models I've got. The first one is a Overlord, a standard Overlord. He's got the enhancement Eternal Conqueror, which is 25 points, and if I remember correctly, each time model inspired unit makes an attack that targets a unit within range of an objective marker, you get to reroll hit rolls. So your entire unit is going to get rerolls of hit rolls if enemy unit is on an objective. Now the janky part to this Overlord is, well, I've not got the Resurrection Orb. I've actually gone for the Tachyon Arrow. You'll probably see where this is going in a moment if you've not worked it out already. Moving on to the second character, I've got another Overlord and a Resurrection Orb. I've got a Tachyon Arrow again. Another enhancement note, Honourable Combatant, it's 10 points. So if this Overlord kills a character, opponent will lose 1 CP. It was just 10 points spare, I've just thrown that in. And then I've got a third Overlord in the list, which is just a stock Overlord, 85 points, but has the Tachyon Arrow as well as the Overlord's Blade. So 3 Tachyon Arrows. I'll talk about that more in the tactics section later on in this video, so stick around for that. Next character, we've got a Chronomancer, just stock Chronomancer, 50 points, no gimmicks there. We've then got 10 Immortals with Ghost Blasters. I've gone with the lethal hits and -1 AP. Makes more sense. Going with Tesla with no AP against Marines isn't ideal, so I gave them a bit of AP. Now of course the Chronomancer and Overlord will be going with them, but again we'll talk about that later on. We've got a unit of 3 Locust Heavy Destroyers with the Ghost Destructors. You can't leave home without them. We've got 2 units of 5 Lich Guard, that's 170 points for the combined 2 units. They've got the Hyperphase Swords and Dispersion Shields, so they're going to have obviously the Lich Guard keyword, and they're going to be quite resilient with their Dispersion Shields. We've got 3 Tomb Blades in a single unit, so they've got, so in fact we've probably already seen the video for this if I've not done it already. I think I've already released it. The Tomb Blades, rate it or hate it. And I've got 2 particle beamers, 1 twin Tesla carbine. You take the twin Tesla carbine just for the assault for the unit, assault keyword or assault ability even. And then we've got a Triarch Stalker equipped with heat ray. So that comes in at, it's either 1,000 or just under, I can't remember off the top of my head, but it's a 1,000 point game if it's a 1,000 point list. Now, in terms of the stratagems that I plan on using for this list, I've got a couple for you. The first is Enslaved Artifice. So in your shooting or fight phase, you select a non-titanic unit that hasn't been selected to shoot or fight yet, and they pretty much get critical hits on a 5+. So it's like having a Plasmancer without the Plasmancer for 1 CP. So that could be useful on the Immortals unit. It could be also useful for the Locust Heavy Destroyers potentially. Not really so much for the Lich Guard because they don't have any, they don't have lethal hits and things like that. So not so much for them. And Territorial Obsession for 1 CP on Lich Guard or Triarch, well, the Triarch Stalker within this list. They get some extra OC if you use that stratagem. You may be able to pull that out and gain an objective, or not so much deny your opponent because it happens in your command phase. Kind of got to see what you do with that. What am I doing with this list? Well, I've got 3 Tachyon Arrows with the 3 Overlords. So I've not got any of the Resurrection Orbs, which a lot of you are probably thinking, what the hell are you doing? The 3 Resurrection, why have I got an itchy eye now? There's always something going on. Why have you not got Resurrection Orbs? You've got 10 Immortals in there. You've got the 5 and 5 in terms of Lich Guard. Why haven't you got the Resurrection Orbs? Well, the Tachyon Arrow, the Overlords hit on 2s. And if you've selected a certain unit that hasn't got an invuln save, maybe it's a repulsor, executioner or something. I don't know. Depends what they bring, right? If he's got something with armor, something big without an invuln save, you are hitting on 2s and you'll be wounded on 2s because that Tachyon Arrow has a high strength. I think it's strength 16 off the top of my head. Is it strength 16? Yeah, so strength 16. So anything that is toughness 9, toughness 10, toughness 11, toughness 12, 13, 14, 15, and so on, you would normally wound them on a 3+, because you're not double. But with the Worthy Foes detachment rule, it'll be 2s. So it'll be hitting on 2s, wounded on 2s. Yes, they're only 1 shot, but if you've got 3 of them with -5 AP, pretty much removes an armor save. 2s and 2s go straight through, D6 plus 2 damage each time. You can literally just pop something off without an invuln save with the 3 Overlords, providing that they've got line of sight and all that stuff. So that is the first plan with the Tachyon Arrows. We've got the Overlord is going to be going with the Immortals as well as the Chronomancer, so they're able to fire and move. They won't be advancing because they've not got the assault weapons, they've not got Tesla, they've got the Gorse. But there's going to be a -1 to hit them, which is good, and the reroll enhancement Overlord will be with them. So you'll be re-rolling potentially all your hit rolls, potentially all your room rolls with your Immortals, the Gorse, which is kind of cool. And again, if you're using that 5+ critical hit thing with a stratagem, you may as well just fish for the 5s, go for the lethals, right? You've got Overlords with Lich Guard, which kind of speaks for itself. Maybe you get to remove a CP off the opponent's CP pool, maybe. It was only a 10-point thing, don't worry too much about that. Then, as far as deployment goes, well, I want the Lich Guard units getting onto early No Man's Land objectives. So this is more, not so much deployment, more turn 1 based really. Getting onto the No Man's Land objective, just sitting tight, holding the shields up and saying if you want this objective you've got to go through the Lich Guard. So they're going to be holding key spots. I mean, this is a 1k game, don't forget. So we've only got a limited amount of units each. So, removing 5 Lich Guard isn't easy at 1k. At 2k, if you want something dead, it's dead. 1k, it's not that straightforward. Now the Immortal unit hopefully can be just fire support for any units that are making the way towards the Lich Guard. And I mean, they can potentially step onto the No Man's Land objectives as well if they want, or they could stay back potentially. Kind of depends on how the deployment goes. You've then got the Triarch Stalker and the Tomb Blades. Both of those units have Scout. One's got Scout 9-inch, one's got Scout 8-inch. You can make use for early dashes to objectives, maybe if you've got Cleanse or Area Denial even. So they could be doing that. Or getting into range for the Heat Ray with the Torrent, maybe. Kind of depends on who goes first, really, isn't it? Now the Tomb Blades have got pure speed though, haven't they? I mean, you can maybe hold them back turn 1 to prevent them from actually getting killed. But the Stalker has 12 wounds and an invuln save, so you can literally throw that up and it should survive a fair amount. unless your opponent literally just targets it, and it might go down, it might go down. And of course the Locust Heavy Destroyers, preferably not moving at all with the heavy keyword, and they're hitting on 2s with that because of heavy, and then they're wounding, well, they've got strength 14, minus 4 AP and a flat 6 damage pot. They're just so good, aren't they? They're so good. So they can just sit and hold our home objective if needed. Maybe that frees up the Immortals. The Immortals, I've always got a bit of a free roll when I play Immortals. It just depends on what area of the board is weak. I tend to put them there. Now there's no like screening units. I mean 1k it's quite difficult to field screen units. Maybe I could have taken away one of these units, like maybe one Lich Guard unit could have gone, and I could have added some Scarabs, a couple of units of Scarabs, maybe 3 units of Scarabs. It depends on the points, doesn't it? So maybe I could have done that, and we'll find out if, you know, that was a thing or not. But yeah, that is my battle report list that I'm planning on playing this coming week. And once I've filmed it, I'll be putting it on to show you guys to see if this plan actually worked or not. And if it did, hooray for me, and I'll get some points in our little mini tournament. We don't know how we're going to be actually scoring it. Of course, you've got victory points. I don't know if we're going to be scoring it by faction or by player. Or, don't really know. We'll kind of wing it as we go along. Just a bit of fun, and I thought I'd just share it with you guys. So guys, yeah, thank you all for watching, and if you've not yet subscribed to the channel, please do so. But yeah, guys, good luck to me, I suppose. Wish me luck, that's probably the better way of saying it. Wish me luck, and I'll see you in the battle report.